Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to round 4 of the RR League's GT3 Masters Edition 7. We are in Australia, we are at Mount Panorama Bathurst, ready for round 4 of this championship to mark the halfway point, and we're set for a great evening of racing. Let's have a quick look at what today has in store for us. We have 2 hours of Bathurst as we see some Monza action in the background. We have 2 hours of Bathurst today with a qualifying session of 15 minutes coming up in about 7 minutes time. So time to get your snacks ready. So a blazing hot Bathurst is waiting for 30 plus drivers here on this series, and we'll have a look at what the mountain has in store for us today. It's a staple of this series. Bathurst has been on the calendar for quite a lot of editions of the GT3 Masters, and this season it's back with a vengeance. We'll see if it provides the drama it always does, and I'm sure it will. But first, let's have a look at some pictures from Monza while I talk you through what happened there. So Monza was our first sprint race weekend format in the GT3 Masters, a new addition, a new challenge for the drivers to prove themselves in all kinds of conditions, all sorts of races. And this was a 2-race format with 2 qualifying sessions, a 30-minute race and a 60-minute race with changeable weather conditions. Now, weather was not that prominent, but the first qualifying session started with a damp track, so we just came out of a rain cycle, and that provided some great entertainment during the qualifying session. But still, it was Bram de Pretre taking pole, only 1.6 tenths in front of Max Baer, and Tommy Kosonen taking the 3rd spot on the 2nd row. For a bit of a surprise with the Ferrari, Kevin Rowlands was in 4th position. Now the race panned out at the front quite predictably. Bram de Pretre eased away ever so slightly from Max Baer and ended up winning the 30-minute race with about 4.4 seconds of a gap, so not that big. And it was Rob Taplin who made it onto the podium with another Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. In the AM Cup, it was actually Dirk Weigt winning this race, only 2 seconds in front of Hannah Sang, who was a further 7 seconds in front of Stefan Firlo. So McLaren, Lamborghini, BMW podium for that first AM Cup race at Monza. And then the second race was a 60-minute race, and the two top steps of the podium were the same. Bram de Pretre and Max Baer, now only 2.7 seconds between the two. But then it was a bit of a surprise. Manu Hoedemakers and Simon Verzeil finishing in 3rd and 4th. Red Bull Roadrunners in the Ferrari with some great pace and only finishing less than a tenth between them. Simon was really catching Manu there at the end of the race. So 2 nice races with rain that never came. We just, as I said, came out of a rain cycle, and that meant that we didn't see any rain for the remainder of that session. Now let's have a look what that means for the Drivers' Championship after round 3 of this championship. Max Baer is still at the front of this championship, but Bram de Pretre is not too far back, just 13 points if I'm counting correctly, or no, 23, sorry. And then it's quite a big gap to Cliff Bulke, who is in 3rd. Was not on the podium yet. No, yeah, he was at Valencia, but quite a bit of a gap there. So at the moment, the honors for the overall standings are being split between Max and Bram. We'll see if Bathurst gives us any different results Sven and Marvin Mackenberg in third and fourth. Then it's Ralph Arella, David Torre, Kevin Rowlands, Rob Taplin, and Alessandro Penny to round out the top 10. And also in the AM Cup, it's as close as ever. It's Dirk Weigt, as we saw, who won 2 races. And I didn't mention that before, but Dirk Weigt actually finished behind Sven Hecke in the race, but Sven received a 5-second penalty after an incident in the race, and this meant that Dirk took another AM Cup win, but margins are very, very small. So Dirk Weigt 7 points in front of Hannah Song, and Sven de Wilf is a further 7 points back. Another battle to watch out for. Based on these driver standings, we come up with the following Teams Championship standings. Marvin and Sven Mackenberg, the most consistent of the bunch, but look at how close that Teams Championship is at the front. The top 3 separated by only 5 points. So Intense Racing, Team WRT and R2E very, very closely matched. And again, we'll see today if there are any changes there. Grizzly Racing, Bayer and Dennis in 4th position with over 300 points, and then quite a sizable gap down to 77. But then it gets close again with VSP Racing and Useless Racers. We have as well in this championship a Nations Cup to see what the fastest nation on average is, and at the moment it's the 9 German drivers who are represented, who are at the top of this sheet, with Finland, 1 driver, Tommy Kosonen, following that, and 11 Belgian drivers just 5 points behind. So another battle to watch out for here at Bathurst. Now let's switch over to the live action at Bathurst, and we'll give you a bit of a view of the full calendar. So bi-weekly we are running this series, and today we are at Bathurst. In 2 weeks time we're going to Hungaroring, and that will be a whole different ball game with some weather thrown into the mix as well. Let's see how many drivers we have on the server, and I'm quite sure it's more than 30. Yes, it's 32 drivers, as we are as everyone is waiting to get into the get into the qualifying session. So here we are. Everybody streaming out of the pits as I get my broadcasting controls ready for you. And again, as I said last time, it's always Bram who manages to get out in front. Amazingly, always the first one out of the pits. "20 minutes of qualifying. And here we are. All right, we are almost set. Like this. Everybody getting out of the pits and getting ready for this oh so important qualifying session. The importance of this session cannot be underestimated. It's very tough to pass on this track, but it's even tougher to not make any mistakes. So we'll have to see who takes the best approach also in qualifying, and we will be looking in just a second. We will be looking at Damien de Grasse for this first qualifying run. We'll go on board with him, and I'll shut up once he crosses the line. He was the fastest man on the practice server. Let's have a quick look. He did a 2 flat and 8 tenths, so a 2:08. and he was 3/10 clear of Max Bayer. Simon Verzel was in third position, another 3/10 back. And again, lots and lots of laps done. And while we have a bit of time, I must apologize to Tino de Munk, whose name I butchered the whole first 3 races. So I also always said Tom, sorry Tino. And here we go on board with Damien. Let's see what his first lap brings here. Solid first lap for Damien de Grasse. We'll see if he can get this final part of the track right. And I will have an early benchmark of what kind of lap times we should be looking for. Damien with a 201.5. Bayer 201.1, and Damien de Grasse 201.1 as well. So now that some times are coming in, we'll go back to the TV cams, and we'll have a quick look at who is very quick at the moment. Marvin Mackenberg is very, very quick and finishing off his lap in his Lamborghini. Can he get close to that time of Damien de Grasse? Not at all, 1.6 seconds, quite a sizable gap, but plenty of time still to go. Everybody, oh, as a Cliff Bulke, I think that was, goes very, very sideways. No, sorry, it's David Torre in the blue Porsche. Let's have a look. Max Bayer. He is going quickly. Currently he's 4/10 quicker than his own lap. Damien de Grasse is not on a good lap. So what can Max do here as he goes through Conrad Straight? And Bram de Pretre is also gaining some time. Nigel Wood puts himself into 4th position, but the gaps are quite big, and this is a great lap for Max Bayer, it seems. Bram de Pretre is more or less on equal terms with him, but Max should be grabbing provisional pole here as Bram goes just a bit quicker. And here's Max at 2 flat and 8/10. That's what Damien de Grasse did on the practice server. So very keen to see if he can improve on that lap. Let's see. A bit further down the field at the moment, it's Sven de Wulf. Let's see. Sven de Wulf crosses the line, and P17 for him. more than 1 second clear of his closest competitor and teammate Frank Keurvelds. But of course, as I said many times, all of these drivers are on the same piece of tarmac and can fight for position at any point, so AM Cup drivers are not obligated to move over or anything of the sorts. De Grasse is improving. He's 1.5 tenths up on his own time. He needs about 3 tenths. So everybody now more or less in the top 10, gaining time. But Rob Taplin, he's on a flyer. He is on a flyer. He was. Oh, when we miss him there. Oh, big incident there for one of the Red Bull Roadrunners and Rob Taplin. He was 8 tenths up on his own time. He will be kicking himself. I didn't see what happened there. You might have. I was looking at my other screen. But meanwhile, Damien de Grasse. Oh, big slide there. And Nigel Wood still in 4th position. The gap to that top 3 quite big. Bram de Pretre improves, but he is behind Max Bayer. And Damien is onto the grass and he doesn't improve. I think his lap was invalidated there for going too wide. Let's have a look. Ruud Dennis now took provisional pole position in the AM Cup. Let's see. Marvin Mackenberg coming up again. Final stages of his lap there with Cy Fillingham in front. Fillingham stays in 12th. Mackenberg moves up into P4, pushing down Nigel Wood, and everybody straight out once again. Alan Voice, by the way, is currently sitting out a no qualification penalty for some lap 1 incidents, and he's doing that in the pits, of course. Let's see, Bram de Pretre making his way. Oh, a small tap of the wall there, and he's right behind, I think it's Max Bayer, but Bram almost 3 tenths up on his own time, so this would give him provisional pole, but he needs to keep it together through this final section. As we see one of the Grizzly Racing Lamborghinis letting a Red Bull Roadrunner Ferrari past. Still 3 tenths up for Bram de Pretre. Can he snatch pole with exactly half of the session left on the clock? Yes, he can. Too flat, 0.6. So now everyone has their work cut out for them. Everyone now more or less settled into their rhythm, but I want to have a look at Tino de Munk. He did some massive practice laps here. Let me check. Tino de Munk, 481 practice laps, so good on you. And he's starting a new lap. He was improving, and he moves up into P17. Now in the front, everything is a bit close, but everybody I think is on out laps at the moment. Sven Mackenberg is still improving a bit. The gaps there around the top 10. Those margins are so small, from P10 down to P18, covered by 2 tenths of a second. So if you can gain a bit of time there, that would certainly give you some space. Now Tino de Munk is improving slightly, but Rob Taplin, we saw him struggling or having an incident going down the mountain, but he is once again on a good lap. He's 5/10 up on his own time. Sven Meckenberg, who is right behind him, is also 4/10 up on his own time, but Taplin was 8/10 up at the top of the mountain, so lost a bit of time there coming down. Didn't want to risk it, but he will be moving up the order close to Manojlovic and Wood if he keeps it together. Top 3 currently not improving, and Sven Meckenberg, Kevin Rodens in the pits. Looking further down, Sven de Wulf retook pole position. And we'll see Rob Taplin moves into 8th position as expected, but 1 second behind Bram de Pretre. Can Damien de Grasse and Max Bayer challenge Bram for pole position? It's one of the Intense Racing Porsches. Jumps over the curbs. Let's have a look. So it's De Wulf, Dennis and Keurvelds. Currently our top 3 in the AM Cup. Dirk Weigt, 31st at the moment and in the pits. So it's time to get out on track with 7 minutes, a bit less than 7 minutes left on the clock. We want to be getting ready, and we'll have a quick look here. Cliff Bilke, he is improving 3/10. Will give him quite a lot of positions if he can get a good final sector in. That could put him well into the top 10. That's where he wants to be, right around his teammate David Dore, who is currently holding that 10th position. And across the line, this is going to be a good one. P6 for Cliff Bilke. Very nice lap indeed. And Damien de Grasse has jumped Max Bayer for P2 and is on another flying lap. I just lost it, I think, seeing his delta going down, so this will not be the lap for Damien de Grasse. Now taking it easy probably and going for another one. Rob Taplin, he's 2/10 up again. Let's have a look. And Taplin jumps into P6. As I thought, he was improving. And the Porsche looks mighty here. Oh, into the wall for Cliff Bilke. Robert Horvath, my old teammate at the moment. He was improving, hit the wall there, but he's still 4/10 up on his own time. So if he can keep this together, let's go in the helmet cam with him over the mountain in the Ferrari. Currently 3/10 up on his own time. And Bram and Damien at the moment, and Max slightly, ever so slightly improving at the moment. Solid mountain section for Robert Horvath. 5/10 up now. We have 4 minutes on the clock. Onto the power. Not the greatest exit, but it's not losing too much time. It's going to be around Cliff Bilke, Rob Taplin if he gets this final sector just right. And the top 3 not improving anymore. Sven de Wulf in front of Ruud Dennis and Hannah Song now. Ruud Dennis improving to P2 in the AM Cup. And Horvath, final braking zone. Turns it in on the power. Nicely done. This is going to be a good one for Horvath. P5. Very nice indeed. Horvath, from experience, always runs well at Bathurst. But 2 hours, it's quite a long time. and mistakes can be made very, very easily. We are with Tino Domink through Skyline. This is the toughest section of the track, the braking zone here. Really dancing on the pedals, using all of the camber on all of the road. Sometimes even the walls to help you around on the power. Again in the Ferrari. Oh, and Bram de Pretre. Let's see. Over the mountain now as well. He is improving ever so slightly. Damien de Grasse is not. So let's see if he's sizing up another attempt. But at the moment it looks like it's de Pretre's to lose. 2 minutes left on the clock. So everyone who still wants to put 2 laps in needs to be crossing the line right about now. Dirk Weicht is still in the pits, so I think that might be a strategy. Just try and stay out of trouble. Of course, if the mountain is blocked, then there's nowhere you can go. So I would qualify, and we have Manojlovic jumping up into P5. Just wanted to say he's going very well. David Torre as well improving. Here comes Bram de Pretre. He's going to take another 10th off of his time. Yeah, just a slight improvement there, and Damien de Grasse going to follow him. He's, let's see, on board with Damien de Grasse. Currently half a tenth up on de Pretre's time, so this is money time for him. Oh, great section. This might be a bit too quick. Yeah. Pushing very hard and losing all the time he gained, unfortunately, and parking it. So Damien de Grasse will not be challenging Bram de Pretre. Where's Max Bayer? Max will have time for another lap. This will be a good one to watch. He has 1.5 tenths to gain. And there we go. Cliff Bilke and Sven Mackenberg as well improving. Pavlacek as well. Camaletto as well. But quite a couple of drivers in the pits now already. Ruud Dennis, Hanna Song, Keurvelds. Only Sven Hecke is on the track for the AM Cup, and he is just made a mistake, I think. So here we go. Max Bayer as Cliff Bilke has put himself into P4. Bayer currently 2 tenths up. Was quick through the cutting, but loses that time now due to a bad exit. Still, he's made up half the time he needs so far. So he might at least get P2, but here comes the difficult part, braking. This looks good, this looks good. Paradigm shift car moves out of the way. This looks very good. Max Bayer, 1.6 tenths up. He needs 1.5. His time is trickling down now. But also Marvin Mackenberg up into P4 now. Was improving. Rob Taplin is also taking a bit of time off. But Max, this is going to be insanely close. He's now 1.46 ahead of Bram de Pretre. Good braking zone. I will leave you guessing. Will Max take pole position? Oh, over the grass. And he does not get Bram de Pretre. He does get Damien de Grasse. So it's again de Pretre and Bayer on the front row of this grid. a scintillating qualifying, and Rob Taplin is the last driver together with Tino de Munk on the grid, and Rob Taplin is going to massively improve. I got it a bit wrong there, but he's going to jump up into P4. That's a great lap when it matters. And Tino de Munk also 16th position. So as you can see, we have 2 mandatory pit stops for fuel here in this 2-hour race. Let's have a quick look if we can contact anyone. We haven't talked to Robert Horvat yet, so let's have a look. Hi Robert, good evening, and welcome back to some racing. How was that qualifying session for you?
Hi Miguel.
Hey.
Good evening. It's nice to be back, and I must say I had a pretty solid qualifying session.
Yeah.
Within the top 10 in this field, I think it's a good achievement. So I try to keep it up, and we will see.
Yeah, indeed, it's always about the race, but starting P8, I think will give some confidence after some time off.
Oh yeah, P8. It was last time. It was P7, but okay.
Yeah.
I will take this still.
I said you did quite well last time around as well, but it's just about keeping the concentration for the next 2 hours. So
Yeah, in the mountain it's especially hard.
yeah.
Last time it was a bit harder, so I have a better understanding now about the car, so
Great.
it's now more easy.
All right. I'll wish you best of luck and have a good race, mate.
Thank you very much, and thanks for sharing this.
No problem. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, Dirk. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm quite well, but apparently my pace is not that well here on this track.
Okay, I saw you in the pits for quite some time. Was that deliberate? I guess
Yeah,
yes.
I had not much time to drive out another lap, so
Yeah.
I decided to stay in, let shit happens, and let's take a risk from the back of the field and hope for the best.
Yeah, indeed. Let's just hope that the mountain doesn't get blocked. Last time around it was quite okay, so we'll see how that goes. But good luck, man.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Enjoy,
Bye.
guys.
10 seconds.
So the drivers getting ready for their formation lap. And I was saying we have a 2-stop race here. As we are on board, and we'll go. Oops. To the TV cams to see once again this beautiful field streaming over the mountain at a snail's pace for now, but in about 3 minutes time we'll be going. And just mentioning what was said in the briefing for this race. First of all, blue flags on the mountain is something to watch out for. So lapped cars are encouraged to take the easy way and try to not move out of the way of faster cars if they don't feel comfortable doing so. So only if you can do so without causing an incident or any erratic movement can you let someone pass on the mountain. If not, the faster driver might as well just wait until Forest Elbow and Conrod Straight to be let past. So that is one of the rules. And then secondly, of course, the gentleman's rule is also in place here. where we encourage drivers when they have an accident or an incident to have a just have a wait for their victim, preferably on the straight, not in the middle of the road on the mountain, and try again in a safe manner. And as I said, 2 mandatory pit stops. We'll see last time around. Rob Taplin, for example, in the 2-hour Suzuka race had some issues with the splash and dash at the very, very end. No, sorry, he made a pit stop, splash and dash quite early actually, compared to the rest, and had some issues. And I know for a fact that last season there was also some drama between, was again, I think, Bayer and De Pretre. It was very, very close for that final lap. So we'll see if that plays out the same. Sven de Wilf taking the pole in the AM Cup, and he is, let's see, about 6 positions up on Ruud Dennis, but we'll have to see how that plays out. You have 32 drivers on the grid. Helen Voice is in last position. He didn't participate in qualifying. Bram de Pretre is in first. Now let's hope for a clean first lap. That's always providing the best action in these races. So let's hope everybody keeps it sensible. And what was also mentioned in the briefing is what is being said for the 1,000-kilometer race as well. If you can't make the judgment call 120 meters into the race, that's hell corner into a 2-hour race, to be just a little bit sensible. Don't start the race. So indeed, everybody needs to be calm and settle in, and then this race will most probably come to them. Looking at temperatures, it is very hot, as is customary in Bathurst, but this is the challenge for the drivers today. So no variable weather. It will stay dry for these 2 hours, but it's very, very, very hot. That will take its toll on the tires. We make our way through the final corner, and we'll have to see. There was some drama last time around, last year in the first corner. Let's see if Max Bayer and Bram de Pretre go at it from the first second. And there we go, green flag. Max Bayer has a good start. Can he get it through the first corner? Well, yes, he can. Seems quite okay there for the rest of the field as well. This is already great to see. And now the whole field streams past up the mountain for the first time. It's Damien de Grasse who takes advantage of a slow exit by Max Bayer. I was looking a bit further down the field, sorry. But Damien de Grasse, the man with the pace on the practice server. And this is not what Max Bayer would have wanted, for sure. Here we are. It's Rob Taplin in 4th, Cliff Bilken in 5th, Marvin Mackenberg right behind him. Here we go over the mountain, and let's have a quick look a bit further back. Everything still running. Dirk Weigt is in the last position, but everything seems to be quite smoothly, so that's very, very nice to see. Let's have a quick look on the track map. Yes, everybody is still bunched up. That is perfect. Perfect, perfect. The top 3 already putting a bit of a gap to between them and Rob Taplin. And this is already setting up for a great, great race. Will there be some moves made down Conrad Straight? Let's go. Yeah, sorry. Thought Damien might be trying something, but not at the moment. So it's Mercedes from McLaren from Lamborghini. And Sven de Wilf getting a good exit, getting a good start. His closest contender, Ruud Dennis, 26th position, not on the screen at the moment. But everybody streaming past once again. Let's have a quick look at the track map. Oh, number 67. Who is that? Nemanja Manojlovic. He was unfortunately involved in an incident, and that's Damien de Grasse's teammate. Very unfortunate, making his way to the pit lane. He will be out of the track already for these guys, and it's Paul Heron, Alessandro Penny. They are taking pit stops. Let's have a quick look. This might not be a bad strategy. I think this is, yeah, these guys have not not had an incident. These are strategy changes, strategy calls, sorry. So Penny and Paul Heron. We need to have a look. Sven Mackenberg. He had a bit of a shunt. I think he is in the pits for repairs. Ivan Sande has pitted as well. So this is something to watch out for. They already took their splash and dash. So instead of taking it all the way at the end of the race, taking it in front, and Damien de Grasse has a bit of a look there. Rob Taplin settling into P4 right now. Let's have a look. Florian Kutz. He is. This is where it's at. He is just in front of Camaletto, the Munk, Pavlacek. And if Pavlacek is not careful, he's going to be passed by Sven de Wilf. Everybody settling in. Oh, and a bit of a spin there for that must be Ruud Dennis. Yes, that was Ruud Dennis in the Grizzly Lamborghini, just putting a tire on the grass and spinning it out after the first corner. This is great to watch. Let's go on board with Max Bayer and see how hard these guys are pushing. Looking forward to see if these guys can keep this up for the full 2 hours. I know I can. Sven Hikke at the moment, second in the AM Cup, and Halan Voice gaining 2 positions, but side by side there for De Pretre and De Grasse. Oh, very close and very fair as well. Oh, De Grasse is going to lose that position. De Pretre fought that fair and square in my opinion. Let's have a quick look at the track map. These guys who have pitted, number 67, I think, yeah, they're in clean air, so this is actually a very nice call by Paul Heron, Alessandro Penny and Ivan Sande. Sven Mackenberg is back out, so those 4 drivers, number 46, 19, 22 and 432, have already pitted. Damien de Grasse has to retake that second position from Max Bayer. They are pushing like hell. At the moment, is still as close as ever. There seems to be no incidents. Cy Fillingham is in the battle there. P16, he's right behind Sven de Wilf as Radek Pavlacek goes into the pits. And again, here we go down Conrad Straight for attempt number 2. Now it's Max Bayer putting the pressure on Bram. And we're only 8 minutes into the race, side by side. Nope, Max opts to stay behind. He saw what happened to Damien. He doesn't want to lose that second spot. There's more than time enough for him to get it done if he can. He has the fastest lap, at least for now. Let me have a good look at the inside. And as you can see, gaps very, very small. So not a lot of mistakes, but those will come. Don't worry, mistakes will come. Anyone who finishes this race will come away with some great points. That's for sure. There will be people dropping out. I hope not, but it's always the case, especially 2 hours of Bathurst when tires are going off. These guys are not giving each other an inch. That's what we like to see. But we'll go a little bit back because I thought I saw Simon Frizzell right behind someone, but he's obviously not. My timing sheets are not responding anymore, so let's restart that. If you want to hear or see from anyone, just give me a shout in the comments and we'll make it happen. So there we are. Let's see. Hallam Voice had to sit out qualifying. Time to ponder his decisions. But he is moving up quite well here in the Mercedes. He's in 3rd spot behind Sven Hecke in the AM Cup and already made up 10 positions here in this race as we lost one car. Yes, yeah, that's Nemanja Manojlovic unfortunately has left the race so far. Gap at the front still as close as ever. But Hallam really showing the early pace here in his class versus the BMW of Sven Hecke. Curious to see Paul Heron. He is the first one of the early splash and dashers, and he's in clear air, 4 seconds in front, 10 seconds behind, so he can lap on his own pace. This might be a very, very good call for them. On the gap at the front, Bram de Pretre and Bayer 1.5 seconds now, so not what Bayer wanted, not what De Grasse wants, of course. He wants to stay close to that first spot. Bram de Pretre is not the one to make many mistakes, so you want to be there whenever you can. And oh, there it is. Damien De Grasse just got past Max Bayer and already has quite a margin. Max Bayer now falls back into the clutches of Rob Taplin, so he did make a mistake going over the mountain. Now we will see if De Grasse has the pace to close that gap down. 2 seconds he has to make up on Bram de Pretre. This lap he will not be quicker, but we'll have a look at the next lap. Let's see, Paul Heron, what kind of lap times is he doing? 2:04, top 3. Oh, as Bram de Pret, Max Bayer, sorry, dives into the pits. So, is that for damage? Not seeing any big damage, so doesn't look like it. Is it just a splash and dash, taking it now, trying to get to clean air because he knows he has the pace? He's doing the full service, it seems, so something to keep an eye on how Max does, but he's back out. I think he took some fuel, and back out he goes in 12th spot. His oh, sorry, a bit further down, of course. He's right there with his teammate Ruud Dennis behind. Let's have a look. Robert Horvat, with all of that, has moved up the order. He's in P6 now from starting P8. That's not too bad, and he is within reach of Bulke and Marvin Mackenberg in front. So look, a very nice variety of cars in throughout the field actually, but Mercedes, McLaren, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, McLaren, BMW. It's very nice to see there. But Cliff Bulke in 4th position, the first man to take the podium spots if he can. We'll have to find out later in the race if Max Bayer took that pit stop voluntarily or if he was forced into the pits by circumstances, of course. Having a look at the last lap, the Pietro was 2/10 quicker than Damien de Grasse and 3/10 quicker than Rob Taplin. So at the moment, it's the Pretres to lose. There we see the 2 intense racing Porsches. Cliff Bulke in the foreground, David Dorn in the background. Can Robert Horvat move up into P5? He's certainly looking like he is. As long as he stays within reach of these two guys, his focus will be maximal. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes. Alan Voice got past Sven Hecke for P2 of the AM Cup. Sven has dropped down a bit, so he's made a mistake, obviously. Now Paul Heron, our first driver of the early pitters. Of course, Max Bayer has also pitted, but he had a bit of a longer stop, so not sure how to interpret that, but he's now coming up on slower traffic, possibly. He had a 5-second gap in front. He's now closed that down, so now he needs to get past Dennis and Hecke as soon as he can to take advantage of his strategy. Oh, and a bit of a crash for Sven Hecke. Oh, that BMW is not in a good spot there, but he gets it going without any big harm. Oh, he's crabbing all the way. Let's hope he doesn't let's firstly hope he gets to the pits and continues driving, then let's hope he doesn't cause any big pileups there. At the front, oh, Damien de Grasse now really showing the pace, taking the fastest lap of the race, 4/10 quicker than Bram de Pretre. A 2:01.7 during the race, and having a look at our information sheets, 2:01.5 was the quickest lap last season, set by Bram de Pretre's teammate, who's not here today, Amadeo de Keizer. So here we have de Pretre, there is de Grasse, 2.5 seconds behind now when they cross a new timing beam. And Max Bayer is probably losing some time behind Hannah Song on the mountain, but nothing can be done about it. Have to try and get a good exit. He has his teammate right behind. A good exit from first elbow to get past on Conrad Straight, get past these 3 AM Cup drivers who are in front of him. And of course, as I said, they do not have to move over, so Bayer going for a good exit, and Hannah Song lets him through. That's very nice of him, was not necessary. Sven de Wulf, P14, really mixing it up there at the front of the field for Happy Feet Racing. His teammate Frank Kervelds is at the moment in P3 for the AM Cup. And again, we see all of the nice variety of cars and liveries on our grid. Very nice to see quite a bit of viewers here for the stream, so welcome. If you have any questions about the racing, the league, the drivers, feel free to ask, as Hallam Voice is now in the pits. That looks like a bit of damage for him. And also Sven Hecke now drives into the pit, so he made it. He made his way around Olivier Kouwenberg. I don't think we saw him yet on the grid for this season, but he is now with us, but in the pits as well. Robert Horvath still putting the pressure on Marvin Mackenberg. There we are from the helicam who took off. Yeah, it has given Cliff Bilke a bit of breathing space in front. The gap at the front down to 1.8 seconds. 2:02.3 for Bram de Pretre the last time around, and 2:01.6, another fastest lap for Damien de Grasse. He's really putting it all on the line right now to try and get close to Bram and pressure him into a possible mistake, the same as is doing Horvath right there in the Ferrari versus Lamborghini. Again, a couple of mistakes here and there, but nothing too major. And Paul Heron Splash and Dasher, P23 right now. He is behind Ruud Dennis, but not within range. And Hallam Voice unfortunately sped in the pit lane. Gets slapped with a stop go 30. That will not come in well for him, but he has to live with it. Still plenty of time to go, and as I said, if you finish this race, you'll be well into maybe even the top 20. If you can keep it out of trouble, which Hallam is not doing at the moment, but if you can keep it out of trouble, top 20 is a real possibility. So we'll have to see. Jack Camaletto was in the pits. minutes at least. He's dropping back. He was in front of Max Bayer. I was a bit surprised there. And visually, here's the gap between Damien de Grasse. We'll see Graham de Pretre in the shot in just a little bit. There he is, 1.5 seconds between the two. So very nice pressure there for him. And Alessandro Penny is behind Dirk Weicht. Penny also stopped on, I think at the end of the first or the second lap maybe. So he also wants to move through and see where he ends up at the end of the race. His teammate Ivan Sander did the same. He is just a little bit behind. Sven Hecke is still in the pits for repairs. On the last lap, de Grasse again 2/10 quicker than Graham de Pretre. Through the chase, heavy braking. Now 25 minutes in, those tires will start to suffer a little bit from these temperatures. Very sure of that. Penny now ever so close. Dirk Weicht has quite a ways to go to catch Sven de Wulf, who is in first, but anything can happen. Dirk Weicht defending very well at the moment. Defending the inside line. There's Ivan Sander. Let's hope the two VSP racing cars don't trip over each other. Oh, into the barrier. That's what you get when driving just a bit under the limit on this track. You lose the line, you lose the grip. Jack Cavaletto has come out about 5 seconds behind Paul Heron. So Paul might be someone to watch, as Rob Taplin, his teammate, is in third. He's 7 seconds down on Damien de Grasse, but a nice strategy for them. See where that puts them. Dirk Weicht stays in front here of Alessandro Penny. And might have missed that and might go back to look for it, but Horvath has made the pass on Marvin Mackenberg. Let's see if we can quickly find that. There is Horvath. Oops. Here we are, over the mountain. So this must mean that Mackenberg missed his braking spot, because at the moment Horvath is not within reach. Oh, look, a bit of a slide, and Horvath doesn't need anything else. He's on the inside, brakes late probably, gets it stopped, moves up into P5. Very nicely done. Let's go back to live driving, and we have Penny and Van Sander ahead of Weicht. Has dropped some spots, so he had a bit of a tangle there as well, or a mistake on his own. And here we are. De Grasse has closed down that gap to de Pretre quickly and methodically, another 4/10 quicker. Now the game begins. Now he can really put the pressure on Bram and see how he reacts. And oh, Sven de Wulf took a pit stop. Just wanted to say he's out of contention for the AM Cup, but he already took a pit stop, so now it's his teammate Frank Keurvelds leading that that pack, and Tommy Kosunen is in the pits as well. Kevin Rowlands and David Dorre, they're chasing down Nigel Wood, who's doing a great job here at the moment, hanging on to 7th spot on merit. So great to see, but quickly go back to De Grasse versus De Preter, because De Grasse had a great exit out of first elbow. Will he go for it immediately? Wants to put it around the outside. That was so close. Very much on the edge there for De Grasse. Looks like that's the spot where he will have to do it. Bram has closed the door on him fairly, I think, for the last 2 times. So either Damien has to find another way around, or he will have to try again and again and again until Bram doesn't have the opportunity to cause him any issues. And Horvat, as Kosunen I think comes out of the pits. Yes, Horvat. Really quick, let's compare fastest lap times. Yeah, fastest lap for Horvat 202.9, fastest lap for Bulke 203.2, so potentially 3/10 quicker there, Horvat. We'll close that gap down rather quickly. Keep an eye on this battle, the battle for the lead as well. The leaders going over the mountain for the 14th time. And so this battle for the lead, then we have the battle for P4 and the battle between Wood, Dorre and Rowlands to watch out for. And again, I think Damien has a good exit. Again, let's go on board with him. Hard braking now up the inside, and he gets it done. That was very close, but Bram will have to do it all over again. Now Damien, we know he is quicker, his fastest lap almost half a second, no, not almost, a half second quicker than Bram, so he does have some pace over Bram, but he needs to keep it together for the next 90 minutes, and that's the big challenge here of this race. Let's have a quick look back at that pass for the lead, shall we? I think that was here we were. Instead of going around the outside, went for the inside. Didn't really get it stopped. That's I don't know. Not going to judge there, but didn't really leave Bram any space there. That's how it felt from that first replay, at least. And at the moment, Damien stays in front, so he's not giving that position back. My timing screen has gone haywire once again. Let's restart that as well. 3 seconds now at the front, but Horvat versus Cliff Bilk, of course. That Porsche has a good exit out of Forest Elbow, so tricky to outpace it than Conrad Straight. We'll be eager to see when the first guys will dive into the pits and where they will come out in comparison with the likes of Bayer and Paul Heron. But these three very close, and Damien, yeah, well, he might have to eke out a bit of a gap, because if Graham reports that pass, I'm not sure if he will be let off the hook. Anyway, that's not my job. Very fortunate. Yeah, second pit stop, so there's 2 mandatory pit stops for fuel. Jesse. So most of the drivers still have to go through the pits 2 times and at least take 1 liter of fuel. I think that's how that is defined. So it's another chance to gain or lose some seconds, and as you can see, the margins are very thin indeed. Paul Harrow now behind Hannah Song, half a second. So mixing it up in that 3-way battle for the current lead of the AM Cup standings. He wants to get through as quickly as he can. But Horvat not letting Cliff Bilk go. De Grasse, yeah, 9/10 quicker than the Prêtre. So the Prêtre somehow, by being second, has lost quite a bit of pace, or he's looking after his tires. In any case, Damien has pushed mega hard to get close and get past, so let's see. Paul Heron, as I said, behind Hannah Song, Ruud Dennis and Keurvelds. The battle for the AM Cup, and it's as close as ever. Max Bayer is just in front of them. Can Heron get a good exit and dispatch of Hannah Song by the end of Conrad Straight? At the moment, it's not looking like he will, and Hannah is not moving out of the way. I think she already did let it past earlier, so Paul must have made a mistake. And now Hannah thinks, well, you got your chance, but now that's the fellow Lamborghini driver passed. Manu Hoedemakers casually moving up into the top 10. His teammates Simon Verzel dropping down. Dropping down to P22. Yeah, he's in the pits. Yeah. Jump back to that battle for P4, because Marvin Mackenberg is very much rejoining that party. 3-way battle, and Rob Taplin happy where he is, I think. Quite a bit of a gap to the front and to the back of him, and quietly lapping the mountain. Now the mountain is challenge enough, that's for sure. Damien de Grasse and Bram de Prêtre both in the pits. Let's have a quick look if we can see them coming out. nail their pit stops. Here is Damien. Everybody streams past. Taplin. And where is Max Bayer? There is Max Bayer. My tool is acting up, but Bayer looks to be... Yeah, he's right there behind. That is Bram de Pretre, right? Yeah, that is Bram. Or not. Bram will not let him pass that easily. But they're back at it again, and Damien de Grasse lost his lead with a slow pit stop. Wondering if he took more fuel than these two, but at least Max Bayer didn't really get any disadvantage from that earlier pit stop, so made a good call for him. I'm going to restart my tools here again because they're not really cooperating was the word I was looking for. All right. So this battle for essentially the lead of the race, that is, tools don't want to connect, so we will be right back with
green light, show them what you got.
All right, let's see. We are back. And there we go, back racing with Bram de Pretre in front of Max Bayer, and we have Damien de Grasse 13 seconds back. Oh, and the road is blocked there by, yeah, I think that's one of the Happy Feet Racing McLarens. Frank Gervelds is in the pits. Where is Sven de Wulf? No, he's going up the mountain, so must have misjudged that. And Rob Taplin keeps going as Cliff Bulke drop back. So that's what we will be looking for. Just a second in a replay, because don't have a replay. Sorry guys. So Cliff Bulke has dropped back from in front of Robert Horvath, who is now in P2 or P1 actually, because Taplin has gone into the pits. There is Rob. He goes out and he sees Bram de Pretre in front of him with Max Bayer, and he will come out in front of Damien de Grasse, I think. Yes, he does. So that's P3, and there's Damien in the Pantera Blue McLaren. And who's that behind him? Not sure. That's not good. Commentator, is it Nigel Wood? Looks like it is. No, Nigel Wood. Of course not. We will find out who it is. But at the moment, here is Bayer and De Pretre with their all season long battle. Currently, it would be Bram De Pretre clawing back just a couple of points from Bayer in the Drivers' Championship, and one of our Teams' Championship. Marvin Mackenberg currently doing very well in P2, but his teammate Sven currently P25, already pitted. Yes, he did already pit, but still very, very tricky indeed. Here's Damien de Grasse going past. Yeah, it's Olivier Kouwenbergs, that's why I didn't recognize him. He wasn't on the grid yet so far, and Horvath is now in the pits. Will Horvath, where will he come out? Where's our lead pack? They are already in front of him. He gets going. He has a decent pit stop, I think, with 1 hour and 15 minutes left on the clock. So everything is kicking off. And Paul Heron, that will be a close one, I think. There's Horvath, there's Paul Heron. So Heron with that first or second lap splash and dash into the top 5, that should be more or less. So keen to see when our current race leader Marvin Mackenberg comes into the pits and how he mixes that up. So it's De Pretre from Bayer, from Taplin, from De Grasse, Horvath and Heron. Dennis now is in the lead of the AM Cup, but in the pits right now. Hannah Song passes him and stays out for a bit more time. Camaletto is in the pit lane, so he had some kind of incident because he's losing quite a bit of time there. Let's have a quick look at the track map. So our race leader Mackenberg keeps going. Everything a bit spread out, but mostly the action now around start finish straight. Cliff Bilke behind Manu Hoedemakers. He wants to get past as quickly as possible and follow his teammate David Dorner through. Probably get into the pit cycle as soon as possible. Now, De Grasse versus Taplin. We know De Grasse has the potential pace. Can he make the move stick? Taplin lets him go and will try to stick with him as long as he can. That gap was 13 seconds. It's already down to 7, so that must have been a bit of a timing glitch, I think. That's not possible. De Pretre and Bayer are not making that many mistakes at the moment, but we'll have to keep an eye on that gap and see whether Damien can produce something very, very special come the end of this race. So I guess he's sitting next to Sven. Let's see if he can win the AM Cup now today. Currently, he's the first one of the pit stoppers, and he was quite a bit ahead of the rest of the field before he made that one. So he has a good chance if he can keep it out of the barriers, of course. Let's have a look how he's doing at the moment behind Nigel Wood. Wood took a pit stop, he was well into the top 10, and now he's in clean air once again, but with Sven de Wulf behind him. He's waiting for Hannah Song to make a pit stop. It's Paul Heron, Ivan Sande, Alessandro Penny. Not doing too bad after that early pit stop. We'll have to see as Marvin Meckenberg keeps putting out the laps. De Grasse is really pushing again. Takes another 3 seconds off of the leading pack. 201.620, so fastest lap of the race on the last lap for Damien de Grasse versus a 204.7 for Bayer. It's 3 seconds he took off of Bayer. He's dropping back a little bit from the Prater, so a bit of a mistake there from Max Bayer probably. Arella and Fillingham in 6th and 7th, still to pit, but good showing for 77 right now. They need a good team result to boost their team championship standings points total. At this rate, De Grasse has a good chance of catching the Prater come the end of the race. Still plenty of time to go, plenty of time to make mistakes. That is for sure. Hi Martin, good evening. Let's have a quick look at the Discord channel. Looks like Nemanja had a bit of an incident on the curbs and had to leave the session. So Arella putting the pressure on Bulke in the blue Mercedes, the blue 77 Mercedes. Is putting pressure on Hoedemakers as well. So Bayer now looks like I think he might have had a bit of an incident and is losing pace after a hit because he's losing a lot more time than before. His last lap time was 1.1 seconds slower than Bram de Prater, and De Grasse is still punching out 201.8 here in his fastest lap, 201.6. Not quicker than Amadeo de Keizer last year around. As Paul Heron is in the pits again. Is that to clear his final pit stop of the race? Will he drive 1 hour and 10 minutes on his tires, or is that just bad luck for him after a good strategy call? So the top 9, sorry, still to pit. Hoedemakers P3 currently. It keeps going. Of course, if you feel good, you're in clean air and you're a bit under pressure, you're always going to lap a couple of tenths quicker possibly. So why not stay out? Bram de Prater What is this? This was... Huh? This is the Prêtre, this is the Grasse. Passing Bram de Prêtre. What happened there? We have to look back on that. We have to have a quick look, because that's a strange one. So here's the Prêtre. He has Bayer behind him, and then the Grasse also coming out of that's the Prêtre. Yes. So the Prêtre hits the wall on his own. Luckily gets it going again, but Bayer goes past. It looks like, yes, and then it's the Grasse. There we go. Then it's a drag race down to Conrad Strait. So big moment for the race. A small mistake by Bram de Prêtre on the mountain with 1 hour and 7 minutes to go. And here's Damien with some superior straight line speed, I think. Gets it stopped and now gets a better exit to maybe make the pass as Max Bayer goes into the pits again. Alright, so that's what happened. That's why Damien is now in the race lead. Late braking for Hell Corner. And that's what we saw as Heron and Taplin is right there. So back to the live. De Prêtre in the pits. So this has put the whole race on his head. Need to try and regain the overview of the race. So what we have at the moment is Damien de Grasse leading the race in front of Rob Taplin. De Prêtre in the pits. I don't think that's for a normal pit stop. Whereas Max Bayer, he has served his 2 pit stops. He's in P21. He has 1 hour and 5 minutes left on the clock. 65 minutes on a fuel tank in the McLaren, in the Lamborghini, sorry, should work. So yeah, we'll have to see. Bram de Prêtre as well. He is, let's see. Bram is out of the pits. Max Bayer is quite a bit behind him, so he has gone into the pits for repairs, it seems, because Bayer... Where is Bayer? Yeah, coming through now through the cutting, so quite a ways back. Paul Heron has also done his pit stop. All right, let's go back to what we know. Arella behind Bilke, hunting down Manu Hoedemakers. The side Fillingham goes into the pits for his first pit stop of the race. And De Prêtre and Bayer are once again together. 7 seconds between them. These guys know each other very, very well, and Florian Kutz in P5 now, as the gas gets past Tino de Munk. That was a bit of a shocker. Wow, we still have an hour to go, but action or drama left, right, and center. Simon Verzeil right behind Nigel Wood as well. You would think after an hours of racing things would calm down, but just as in real life, it really, really doesn't. Cy Fillingham comes out of the pits in P12. Is he in a bit of clean air? Let's see. He has Sven de Wulf, leader in the AM Cup, right behind him. So 3-second gap to the guys in front. I think looking at lap times, Bayer no, too early to say, but looked like Bayer has some pace over Bram. Bram, of course, tapped the wall. Not sure if he repaired his damage. As Florian Kutz takes to the pits for his first pit stop of the race. And Cy Fillingham, let's look on board with him. He has a big battle in front of him. Let's have a quick look. Simon Verzeil. Benny leaves that battle, dives into the pits. Verzeil and Wood battling it out. Where is Dirk Biked, by the way? 26th at the moment. So his teammate Nigel at the moment getting some good points as well for the team. Here's Cy Fillingham right behind these two. So now Bayer and the Predator have done a lap, and Bayer was 7/10 quicker on that last lap. 203.7 versus 203.0. What is Petras doing? 202.4. So not too bad, but he still has to make a pit stop. And the Predator and Bayer don't, so difficult to see. Commentators curse, sorry Cy. Oh, very sorry mate. That's unfortunate. 1 hour into the race, a small mistake. Small bit too hard on the brakes there over the hump, and hopefully not too much damage. Probably some straight line speed lost. Will Sven de Wulf put Cy Fillingham under pressure into the chase. Cliff Bilke now in the pits. Manu Hoedemakers in the pits. Ralph Arella stays out. Tino de Munk as well in the pits. I wonder, Marvin Mackenberg now I think needs to also pit pretty soon. Where is Hoedemakers? He's back out. P6. Bilken is out of the pits. So short pit stops for these guys, looks like, if I'm not mistaken. And the gap between the Breiteren and Bayer, 6.4 seconds. Still, Bayer was quite a bit quicker on this last lap. So the grass is following. My screen is still showing Mackenberg as the top driver. that's not true, so restart it again. There we are. Now Damien de Grasse takes the lead of this race as Arella goes into the pits. And Rob Taplin is the one who hasn't made any big mistakes like Damien's competitors at the moment. So we'll have to see who slots in between these guys. Here's Arella. He was well, battling Horvath in front of Mackenberg. Arella gets going again. You have to look at Cliff Bulke normally. Well, he's going to be a bit behind because Arella already coming out of the pits behind Manu Hoedemakers. Ivan Sande, also an early pit stopper, now mixes it up in the top 10. So everybody has made at least their first pit stop. And as things stand, Bram de Pretre and Max Beyer are the first ones who could have clean running until the end of the race so far. We'll have to see. At the moment, de Grasse is looking very, very quick, a lot quicker than his two competitors. So a mistake is, of course, never out of the question. Hoedemakers doing very well at the moment in P6. And things are as close as ever. Here is Nigel Wood with his teammate. Cliff Bulke is right behind Florian Kutz. So it's Florian Kutz, Nigel Wood, Dirk Weigt, and then Cliff Bulke, who is probably getting past at the end of the straight. The gap between De Pretre and Beyer coming down 4.3 now. Again, Beyer was 6/10 quicker. De Pretre has lost quite a bit of pace into the 203s consistently now, so has lost a bit of pace due to that shunt at the top of the mountain. And we'll have to grind it out until the end. Ivan Sande comes in the pits for his, I think, final pit stop. There's Cy Fillingham and Sven de Wilf, our AM Cup leader at the moment. AM Cup not as close as we have seen before in the previous races, but anything can still happen, of course. The gap between Beyer and De Pretre down to 2.3. Bit wide there for Nigel Wood. Let's go on board with Cliff Bulke and see how that looks like from afar. Really putting pressure on the mechanics of the car, pushing it all the way to the limit. Down to first gear and on the power as early as you can to get a good exit. Moment, it's De Grasse's to lose, but last lap, Taplin only 2/10 slower than De Grasse. Taplin showing some good pace here, and well, the podium is far from settled. with 52 minutes on the clock. 0.7 now between Bayer and the Pretre. Quite lucky to get out in clean air. As we work lap 32 of this race. But now has a 20-second gap in front, 6-second gap behind. So now, as we talked about before the race, needs to keep that concentration. That is well within his right to get a solid top 5 finish for Pannonia Racing Team. Getting closer and closer and closer. Oh, there goes Nigel Wood. Luckily, this is the worst spot. Gets it out of the way, but can he get it out of the way? I think he will be able to. Oh, and that's Bram de Pretre. That's Bram de Pretre having a big crash, and Max Bayer going through. We'll have to see. I'm going to have a look at what happened there. Oh, big crash there for Bram. Let's have a quick look. De Pretre. Let's look at it on board, right? Why not? Saw yellow flags. Oh, just the rear stepped out. Oh, big damage there for him. Let's slide back, or roll back, to try and get out of the way of Max Bayer as soon as he can. But that is big damage for Bram de Pretre. And I think he will have to dive into the pits for that. Also, Nigel Wood is in the pits. Big drama, and Sven de Wulf now up into P10. Great result. Stayed out of trouble so far. And here he is. There's a gaggle of cars behind him. But Tino de Munk is the first one. We have, I think it's that Dirk Weigt between him and Tino. But solid result for him. Dore in the pits, de Pretre in the pits. This is the moment for Bayer to take a good chunk of points. Put a good gap between him and de Pretre for the Drivers' Championship. So de Pretre out of contention for the podium. Bayer will have to see once the pit cycle plays out, and that could very well be in the last 5 minutes of this race. So filling him in the pits. Doesn't look very damaged, so let's hope that is a normal pit stop, but he's dropping back quite a bit. We'll have to see if we can talk to him. Hey Sai, are you okay to talk?
Yeah, my pit stop's just ending, so I'm going to be heading out back on track, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, just wondering what happened there. We didn't see anything happen, but you're in the pits for quite a long time, so an incident probably?
Yes, I think Nigel Wood lost it in the S's there, and unfortunately I collected him I couldn't really avoid. And then I was stuck facing the wrong way in the dipper, so I just wanted to get out of there, so I escaped back to the pits.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise, I was just going to be a hazard, so
Yeah.
so I
Alright,
decided to escape to the pits, and I've been stuck there for 3 minutes.
And back
And
out now, I see.
as I'm back out, I still need to do another pit stop. So yeah.
Yeah, you were going well, but then indeed Nigel crashed, and Bram actually crashed right behind him, a couple of seconds after him.
Oh really?
So,
what, on
yeah.
his own, or did he collect Nigel?
Yeah, no, on his own.
All
But
right.
on the same spot. So
Yeah.
well, wish you a good recovery drive, mate.
Yeah. Okay, Miguel. Thanks.
Cheers.
Ta-da.
So that's how quickly things can change. Sai doing a good job actually so far, to be honest. And well, just a small mistake, and sometimes you can't avoid a car stuck there. And look at this, Kosunen, Heron, and Dirk Weicht is right in front of these two. Florian Kutz, teammate of Tommy Kosunen, is in the pits right now. Let's see where he comes out. Looks like a normal pit stop. He's in P9 still, so should be coming out right about now, I think. Or these guys are a lap down, not sure. Yeah, looks like they might be a lap down. But still a big gaggle of cars there. Ruud Dennis, Anna Song, Max Bayer. Is that Max Bayer? Then he has his work cut out for him. Yeah, Max Bayer. With all these guys in front of him. Lapped cars. So he will get blue flags, but he's in sector 2 now, so he's going to lose some time. Damien de Grasse with a 201.9 on the last lap, still pushing very, very hard. As I said, it's just like in Monaco. If you stop pushing, you're very prone to start making mistakes here on this track. So you just need to keep going, keep in that flow. And we'll see if Max can challenge for the podium still. And there's quite a big gap there between the Verstappen and Horvath. There's a big gap to jump into after the pit cycle. It's Sven de Wulf. Has, let's see, just gotten past Tino de Munk, so de Wulf having the ride of the season for him so far, P9. Very nice driving for Happy Feet Racing. His teammate still on track in 27th position. So far we have lost 4 cars, and Alessandro Penny is currently in the pit lane getting his car serviced, taking quite a long time. Bram de Pretre is also back out, and Sven de Wulf now takes his pit stop. Very keen to see where he ends up come the end of the race. 43 minutes left on the clock. Would be very nice to see him in the top 10, but this battle here, this is what we want to see. We have Dirk Weicht defending from Tommy Kosunen, and then we have Max Bayer trying to make his way through. Then we have Heron and Wood right behind. So Bayer, the middle car, the Grizzly Racing car, trying to get past in the dipper, and Kosunen a bit slower than Bayer was expecting. To see a great views of the mountain there, making their way to the top and back down once again. This is a 4-way battle. for Selbo, and now a good exit for Max Bayer, and he might be able to get past one or two of the drivers in front, but we'll have to see. Can Kosonen make the move on VIT for P20? This is for position. They are in a different class, but this is for legitimate points. Kosonen gets it stopped. Oh, big crash for him. Didn't leave Biked that much room, and I think Biked hit the grass just a little bit. Had to correct. Oh, very unfortunate for Kosonen for that tap. I don't think there's a lot that Vike could have done. Vike also drops back now, of course, from this battle, and Sven de Wulf has come out, so has a full pit stop advantage over his closest competitor Hannah Song, and still has 12 seconds. So that means he at the moment is the king of the mountain in the AM Cup. And while Cliff Bilke has dropped back from this battle, Ralph Arella is still trying to get past Manu Hoedemakers, even after those pit stops. So at the moment, our top 9 have not pitted for the second time. We'll have to see how late they leave it. And Ralph Arella is right in the mix there. Marvin Mackenberg, we haven't seen a lot of him today, but he's right up there as well, together with Kevin Rowlands. And Mackenberg 8.6 behind Horvat. They were in a close battle the first half of the race, so also see if these guys get close. Meanwhile, Sven Mackenberg has gotten close. Has got back up to P16. He was a lot further back earlier. So also a good recovery drive for him. And De Grasse still class of the field quickest, quicker than anybody on the track now. Did we lose Bram? No, sorry, to be 24. He's back to doing 2 or 3.7s. Not that ultimate pace that he had in the beginning, so he might still have some damage on that car, unfortunately. He needs to keep going until the very end of this race to grab some points. Here's Damien, just got past Cy Fillingham. And I wanted to disturb Robert, but I'm going to leave him to it. He has a long distance battle with some of these guys further down. I'm very keen to see how that top 10 will look like in the end, because it's going to be mixed up quite a bit in the coming 38 minutes still. Will all of the top 9 leave their pit stops for the very end of, or will we see some pit stops already a bit earlier? There's your answer. Kevin Rowlands in the pits. What kind of lap times is Max Bayer doing? 2 or 3.5. That's just a bit slower than Rob Taplin. There's a sizable gap between the two, so we'll have to see if Bayer ends up on the podium at all, which he did in all of the previous races, if I'm not mistaken. So this would be a completely new podium if it stays like this. Because the grass, unfortunately, that's a good story to tell. Unfortunately, there's the gas as well coming in the pits, by the way. The gas very much in contention in the first race at Valencia, but then after dropping back to, I think it was P4 or P5, escaped from the race, went on holiday, had an injury, had to sit out a couple of weeks of racing, but now he's back, fortunately, and still on the pace, as we can see. So he is a real threat for Bayer and De Pretre, who are miles ahead of the field now in terms of points. And it's De Grasse, Taplin and Horvat in the pits at the same times. We see De Grasse and Taplin on the screen. So our top three will move out. And De Grasse gets going once again. We'll have to see how that gap between him and Bayer is. So Horvat gets out. Where's Bayer? Oh, he still needs to make his way through the chase. So De Grasse has a massive advantage over, well, the whole field, but very much Max Bayer at 15 seconds. Over Rob Taplin. Horvat gets out, so now it's a sprint, 35 minutes to the line, and where we saw pretty much one strategy across the whole field last season with some splash and dashes at the end, today we're seeing a whole variety of strategies, which is very, very nice to see. Makes it a lot more difficult for me, but that doesn't matter as we work lap 40 of this race and Robert Horvat goes back out. So where are those close battles? Let's see. The Wolf. Bit of a slide there coming out of Murray's corner. He is behind David Dore, who is behind Sven Mackenberg. Sven up into P15 now. Paul Heron in the pits, P24 for him, so unfortunately that strategy didn't pan out for him, but Yves Van Sande, for example, P13. We have some drivers still to pit, so he might get into the top 10. But Sven de Wilf very dominantly taming the mountain at the moment. Let's see. Always puts in some good practice, Sven. Where is he? Yeah, well, 150 laps almost. Not too bad, knowing that 2 laps or 2 minutes per lap here around the mountain. So a lot of hours of practice for Sven, and at the moment a well-deserved many seconds lead in front of Hannah Song. But that second name on the podium might still change quite a bit over the coming 30 minutes. Because Hannah has to make a pit stop, Ruud has to make a pit stop, Dirk still has to make a pit stop. And his teammate Frank Gervelds as well. So current race leader Marvin Mackenberg. 14 seconds in front of Damien de Grasse and setting a 2:03.5 on his last lap. Let's see what Damien does when he crosses the line in just a bit. A 2:02.1, so 1.4 seconds quicker than Marvin Mackenberg. Astonishing to see the level of skill and commitment over the mountain. Very cool to see indeed. Arella and Hoedemakers, but more importantly, I think, Van Sande versus Florian Kutz. Let's go on board. This is a camera we haven't used before. To get a nice view of Yves' nice livery. And the sound of the Ferrari. Yves, good exit there from first corner. Exactly even with Florian Kutz. Moves to the outside line. Here we are. Will Florian defend the inside? Will he be able to? We'll see. Looks like Yves has made that move stick. Good exit from Hell Corner, and that's all you need until Griffin's Bend to make the pass. That's P12 now for Yves Van Sande. And it's as well as close as ever between Arella and Hoedemakers. Can Hoedemakers keep soaking up that pressure? Uses all the track there on the outside. You can see over the white line with his wheels almost touching the grass. And that's what you need here on the mountain. Every centimeter needs to be used for optimal lap time. Max Bayer is behind Tino de Munk as well. Tino still needs to make his pit stop, but can of course defend for his position. Try to force a mistake for Max Bayer, maybe gain a position in the end. I wanted to say Arella potentially fighting for the podium, but that's not going to happen. I think it's going to be De Grasse and Taplin. Top two steps, but that third spot is a bit unclear for me at the moment. Bayer gets past Tino de Munk. So he has an 8.7 gap to Horvat. Looks quite big, but you never know. You never know on the mountain. One small lapse of concentration. One bump that you missed can cause a big crash like we saw for Bram. Just got a bit light there on the rear. A bit too hard braking and around the rear went. He's up into P21 now. Already regained 3 positions. Hoedemakers opened that gap once again to Arella. So Taplin is behind. He doesn't have any pit stops to do anymore. Maybe he can join this party in a couple of laps time. Getting Weigt again in the pits for his final pit stop. At the moment we didn't see any big issues with lapped traffic. Oh, as that must be Ruud Dennis, I think. No, it's not. Is it Max Bayer then? No, it's also not. Looked like maybe Hannah Song gets going as well. So, not sure, but Hannah has blue flags as she has Cliff Bilke right on her tail coming through Skyline. Now a good exit is all Cliff needs. Hannah lifts off the power just slightly. That facilitates the pass and loses her a minimal amount of time as she slots in behind. She is battling for AM Cup honors, of course. If she comes into the pits, we'll have to see if Ruud Dennis would pass her or not. But at the moment, it's not looking like she will be heading into the pits anytime soon. Sven de Wilf matching the pace of David Torre. The two Belgians battling it out. Of course, it's nice to have a good reference in front of you in David Torre to keep up your concentration. But Sven is not only just sitting behind David, no, he's putting the pressure on. Can Sven make a move? Not for now, but David has his rearview mirror full of him. Doesn't get a chance to look ahead. Sven Mackenberg is ahead, and at this rate, there's no way of catching him. He's right behind Radek Pavlacek. Haven't seen him in the whole race, but he's right there in P14. His teammate Camaletto was there at the beginning of the race, but has dropped out, unfortunately. Do you see anything in the Discord? Nope, not at the moment. Now, as we look at this battle, let me remind you that this series is sponsored by Trek, a Dutch sim racing hardware company, and they have kindly offered us 250 euros in vouchers for their shop, which will be randomly or given to a randomly chosen winner from drivers who have completed 7 or more rounds in this championship. So we want to reward commitment in this series rather than overall speed or results. Oh, Sven de Wilf into the wall, and right in the middle of the road. Fortunately, gets it back pointing in the right direction and gets going, but and luckily has quite a bit of a gap. But let's see if he can keep going for another 22 minutes with Ben steering, I suppose. Let's see. Yeah, steer a couple of degrees to the right to keep his car straight, so that's not ideal. see if he comes into the pits now, but I was talking about our sponsor Trek. So 250 euros going to one of the drivers who have shown good commitment in this series. And then another prize is for our actual teams. So 2 drivers in a team who have driven 7 or more rounds in this series will also put into the hat and will receive tickets of choice for a GT World Challenge race. So 2 tickets. If they can, they can go together, which is also would be nice to see if some of these teammates could meet each other in real life if they haven't done so already. So those are 2 prizes that are up for grabs for commitment, and quite a couple of drivers still in with a chance of at least competing for that prize. So we'll have to see at the end of the season how many of the drivers have shown good commitment, and then who gets picked out of the hat. Sven de Wilf keeps going. Knows he has quite a bit of a gap. He has a 30 second gap to Hannah Song, who still has to pit, and then the gap to Ruud Dennis is another 50 seconds. So if he can keep it on the black stuff, then he should be able to finish this race still in the lead. But a big scare there for him. And what did I say? Rob Taplin, can he join this party in a couple of laps? Yes, he can. He's now 0.5 behind Arella, who has not been able to get close enough to Hoedemakers to try and make the moves. Taplin might be looking at possibly a podium spot finish. At least his 2 pit stops have been served and recognized correctly by the game, so no shenanigans there for him. And there we are. Taplin makes the move quick and easy. So clearly has quite a bit of pace in hand over Ralph Arella. P4 it is for Rob Taplin. He is in essentially P2 now. He has Hoedemakers in front of him, 1.8 seconds. That's Viked or Wood as a lapped car, and Taplin needs to sit behind. There's no way through here through sector 2, and no obligation for the WNW racing team McLaren to move over. Whoa, but he does. Now hopefully Arella doesn't get caught out by this. No, he gets past. That turned out okay, but that wasn't really necessary. However, I understand if you have these 2 quick guys coming up on you, you want to get out of the way if you can, and I think it's Viked. He did that very well. De Grasse 3.6 behind Marvin Mackenberg, so we might even see a pass for the lead by Damien before Marvin makes his final pit stop of the race. Max Bayer currently in P8. And that gap between him and Horvath. does that say? 10 seconds. So Bayer losing time to Horvat at the moment. And Arella not able to follow Rob Taplin. He said Sven Mackenberg is making inroads, so I had a shocker of a start, but now moving back up the order for R2E, our current team's championship leaders, together with our current race leader Marvin, his brother, and he's having a look at sizing up a move on Radek Pavlacek in the Paradigm Shift Ferrari. Taplin closing the gap to Hoedemakers very quickly. Will he make quick work of that as well? We'll certainly have a look as Tino de Munk comes into the pits. From P7 it was. He's now dropping back a couple of positions. And back out he is there, right in front of David Dore, or right behind. Let's have a look. Side by side. Can Dore make the most of that inside line? Ooh, and then Ferrari for Tino looks battered and bruised, but it's still running, and that's what counts. Dore at the moment takes P16. And Taplin versus Hoedemakers. Let's see if we can look at Taplin on board. Hoedemakers defense, but looks like he's letting Taplin through. Yes, he does. So defending for all his worth against Arella, but Taplin proved to be too quick. Hoedemakers chose his battle. Damian de Grasse 1.2 seconds now behind Mackenberg, but the other Mackenberg brother is in a battle for position, whereas Marvin is not. He still has a pit stop to make. 15 minutes left on the clock. Looks at the inside. Ooh, bit wide for Radek. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he does, but that's P14 for Sven Mackenberg. Good move. And a scary moment there for Pavlacek. And Sven de Wilf has lost position to Hannah Song, which isn't the end of the world. Doesn't look like he's going very quickly. Let's see. He's going full throttle, so but he is losing some time. We'll have to see how that AM Cup battle plays out. Pretty sure that was another mistake for Sven de Wilf, because he lost a very sizable amount of time. Maybe he took to the pits for some repairs. In that case, I missed that. Ralph Arella is in the pits now. And let's see Damian de Grasse. Let's see if we can watch for a proper overtake. Let's hope our race leader does not crash out on his own. You would say he doesn't need this, but it's just like Max Verstappen yesterday. Haven't watched the race today, but yesterday wanted to go after Piastri, where the team said, well, you have it in the bag, so don't worry. Of course, it's all a bit of fun. So if you can get some good racing, why not? It's side by side. Gets led through by Marvin Mackenberg, slots in front, and that's our race leader now. A full pit stop ahead of Marvin Mackenberg. Of course, we don't know how long that pit stop will be for Marvin. Should be a splash and dash, so quite quick. Pavlacek is not really letting go of Sven Mackenberg, still 1 second behind. That was the sound of a car almost crashing out. It's Tino de Mink just in front. Hoedemakers now in the pits. So we only have Hannah Song, Cliff Bulke and Marvin Mackenberg left on our sheet of people who still have to pit. And the gap to Rob Taplin, about 18-19 seconds, so big gap there for Damien de Grasse. But as we said, a lot of practice put in by him, and a good qualifying, and at least not no big mistakes from him. Whereas we saw Max Bayer and Bram de Pretre making some. So that's the difference here on this track. Bayer P6 at the moment. He will gain position over Cliff Bulke, so that will give him P5. And I think Horvath is going to take the 3rd spot on the podium if everything stays as it is. Bayer doesn't seem to have the pace to catch Horvath with now 10 minutes left to go in this race. Everything has seemed to have settled down now. Closest battle on track for position is still Pavlacek versus Mackenberg. There's still 10 minutes for these guys to make a mistake, lose concentration for just a bit, or mess up a pit stop. It's very easily done, and it can cost you quite a bit of time because gaps are not that big. And again, that AM Cup battle still piques my interest. Hannah Song, Sven de Wulf. How big is that gap between Hannah Song and Sven de Wulf? It's about 20 seconds. Well, 20 seconds for splash and dash. Yeah, you'll probably lose a bit more than that, but still won't be as comfortable as we thought it would be for Sven after that big moment there on the top of the hill. Hoedemakers after his pit stop, slots him in 7th position. Very nice his teammate, Simon Verzeil, P10, so that will boost their chances in the team's championship. Let's have a quick look how that looked like actually. So we had R2E at the front, but then intense racing, Bilke and Dore. P4 for Bilke at the moment, 15th for Dore. Red Bull Roadrunners 112 points, but they will get a good boost out of this. We'll have to see where they are come the next race, which is actually Hungary, Hungaroring in 2 weeks' time. Get prepared for that, I would say, because that's going to be most probably a wet race, and we leave it up to randomness in all cases. But server setup should be quite rainy, so a rainy race at the Hungaroring is always a big challenge. It's a challenge of its own in the dry, but sprinkle in some drops of rain and you have yourself a real cracker. That will be a 90-minute race, so our shortest race here in the GT3 Masters, excluding the 30-minute sprint race and 60-minute sprint race of the sprint race format in at Monza last time around. If you haven't watched that, you can always go back. We have live streams for Valencia, as there's a yellow flag in the dipper. Oh, that's Cy Fillingham again, fortunately, with big bonnet damage there for him. But yeah, we have live streams for Valencia. Suzuka was round 2 and round 3 was the Monza sprint race weekend. So if you have time on your hands, some epic racing there. And now, of course, after 2 hours of racing, things have settled down here on the mountain. 5 minutes left on the clock. Damien de Grasse will take a commanding win, one he maybe thinks he should have gotten at Valencia, but he made a couple of mistakes there and it wasn't meant to be. But what we still need to do is watch out for the pit stops, and Cliff Bilke is in the pits. He still needs to get it stopped, I think. Yes, he does. On the jacks. There he goes. Back out. Down to P8 for him. Where's Kevin Rowlands? He's coming out of the first turn right now. So it looks like Bilke he will stay in front of Kevin Rowlands, and Hannah Song has also taken her pit stop, which puts her now 10 seconds behind Sven de Wilf. That's not a big gap. And let's have a look at lap times. 204.9 for de Wilf. Of course, last lap for Hannah Song is not representative due to the pit stop. Still, keep an eye out for that, because if he's a lot slower, then we might still see something special. The gap is 13 seconds actually, so that's not going to happen. Bram de Preter is also just in between them. So our final driver to pit is Marvin Mackenberg, and can he stay on the podium? That's the big question. What is the gap? It's 24 seconds. Well, no, 22 seconds to Taplin, a further 20 seconds to Horvat. So Marvin Mackenberg might well be in with a shot of the podium right here if he gets that pit stop timed perfectly. Question will be if he dives in right now or if he waits for another lap. think he needs to come in now, because where's Damien? He's coming over the hill, so after this lap, this is the second to last lap. So Marvin Mackenberg will need to come into the pits. He's actually 5 seconds behind Damien, so needs to come in now or he will run out of time. Let's follow him around. It's Kevin Rowlands. Oh, sorry. Let's see his teammates. Sven Mackenberg putting pressure on Florian Kutz for P12. Moving up the grid very nicely after passing Pavlacek. And Mackenberg stays out. So that must mean that De Grasse has crossed the line.
Leader's on the final lap now.
Oh, he is on the final lap. Mackenberg is in the pit entry now, but let's have a quick look. Sven Mackenberg versus Florian Kutz. Will there be a last lap attempt here for P12? There is an attempt, but Kutz defends, makes his Ferrari as wide as he can. Taplin goes past Mackenberg. Mackenberg still stationary, gets going. Where's Horvat? He's rounding the final corner, so I think that's Mackenberg's podium to lose. Small margins. There is Horvat in the background, but podium just out of reach for him. It looks like Kevin Rowlands versus Cliff Bulke, and as always on the final lap we get some action. We have Rowlands versus Bulke, we have Mackenberg versus Kutz. Here's Mackenberg and Kutz again, going for the move, and Kutz stays in front at the moment. And here is our race leader and race winner, Damien De Grasse. He will finish this race 58 laps of the mountain in 2 hours time. Very well deserved. Congratulations to Damien De Grasse for this race win. And Rob Taplin, after being on the podium last time around in Monza, he will be thrilled to get P2 for useless racers. For his teammate Paul Heron, P23, it didn't work out that well, but still some solid points. And there it is. Congrats to Rob Taplin. And Marvin Mackenberg will take the podium, but that was unclear for quite a while. But there he is, P3. And then Robert Horvat, very closely behind, will take P4. Max Bayer in the end will take P5. And his closest championship competitor, Bram de Pretre, will most probably take P19. Hoedemakers then will take P6. Arella, P7. Cliff Bulke was able to defend from Kevin Rowlands, who is behind. He will finish P9, and Simon Verzeil will round out our top 10. Yves van Sande, Florian Kutz. Oh, we still have Mackenberg and Kutz going at it, so we'll follow them to the line, because Marvin is going for the outside line. Oh, and he's going to make the pass even before the braking zone. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. So that's another pass for Sven Mackenberg to P12. So R2E still getting some good points in here at Mount Panorama Bathurst. Radek Pavlacek is right there behind them. So Ivan Sant P11, Sven Mackenberg 12th, Cuts 13th, Pavlacek 14th, De Munk 15th, Dore 16th, Wood 17th, Sven de Wulf taking the win in the AM Cup in front of Hannah Song and Dirk Weigt, and Frank Kervelds getting a stop-and-go penalty, unfortunately for him, still. And some drivers now also leaving the server already, so we will do that as well. But no, we'll leave these standings up. But a great showing here at Bathurst, which always delivers the goods, and very nice to see. What is it? 27 drivers finishing this race out of 32. So many congrats for your commitment in this race, even with bend steering. Any issues you had during the race is very well appreciated for your efforts. And Damien de Grasse takes the his first win of this series, and Yves Sant looks like he had a good race. And we have Cy Fillingham jumping into the booth with me. So hey Cy, how did your second half of the race still go?
Hello, Miguel.
Hey.
Yeah, not so good really. After that incident with Nigel, it all went a bit downhill, to be honest. Another couple of incidents and hits on the wall, and yeah, my day was done pretty much from halfway.
Yeah, it's so easy to do on Bathurst. Once you have your first mistake or you get passed for the first time, then it's very easy to just
you lose
keep.
your rhythm, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
And
It
it's
was
hard to regain.
very hard. And yeah, well, it was a bit the same last year with Robert. He was going great. I was in the booth with Martin then, and it was going great. But then once he made the first mistake, then it went downhill from there. But today he took P4.
Yes,
So
I saw it had a good race, and
yeah,
Marvin on the podium as well as Rob's. Yeah, that's
yeah, indeed.
a few different names.
Yeah, indeed, different names also for the top 10 was quite mixed up. Ralph taking P7, that's also a good result, I think.
Yes, that's considering the practice and the confidence we was in the 2 weeks prior. Yeah, he'll be very pleased with that.
Yeah. Well, you were always looking forward to Bathurst, so was it a good one for you? Not really, but did you enjoy it?
No. Yes, of course I enjoyed it. Yes, sorry to anyone that I inconvenienced a couple of times in the dipper there, but that's the mountain life.
Yeah, indeed. Looking forward to Hungaroring?
Yes. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a change in the weather from the hotness that we encountered today. But yeah, looking forward to that one, of course.
Yeah, most probably. I see Robert has also joined us in the booth. We were just talking about you, Robert, where you lost.
I'll just leave you with it, Robert, because I'll
Yep.
go and sort out the results and get them posted. So,
Very
well
nice.
done, Robert. Good race.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cy.
Okay, see ya. Bye-bye.
See you. We were
Bye.
just talking about last year where you were running quite well, but then after a first mistake it went downhill, and today it seemed like you kept the concentration for the 2 hours. So good job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great race, to be honest. I didn't expect this consistency from my side, but I was confident in the practice too. I knew I have some pace, and I knew if I can keep it clean,
Yeah.
it will be fine. But I was surprised that this two stop and two tire change strategy worked out pretty well.
You changed tires 2 times.
Yeah,
All right.
I was on lower fuel all the time, so I would be a bit quicker.
Yeah. Were you gutted to see Marvin come out in front, or did you already know that he would be in front?
Green light, give it all you can.
I expected him to be in front of me. In my first stint, I was losing quite a lot of time behind behind Marvin, and especially Cliff.
Yeah.
Like seconds in every lap. Maybe it was on that.
Yeah. Well, in any case, good job, and next time around it's your home track, so I guess looking forward to that as well.
Pretty much, yes. It
Yeah.
was a confidence boost
Yeah,
quite
indeed.
a lot. And yeah, it's my home track. I usually used to be good there, but
We'll see
when
how
it
the
will be,
Ferrari handles.
yeah, it will be wet. And I saw in real life at DTM that the Ferraris were suffering in the wet.
We'll see. We'll see.
You will see, yes.
Let's hope
Thank you.
we can get Peter back on the grid for Hungaroring, or
Yeah, I hope so.
maybe.
He injured himself, unfortunately, today, so
Okay.
he couldn't join.
No. Well,
But I hope in 2 weeks he will be fine.
all right, great. Well, wish him good recovery and congrats for a good race. Now,
Thank you very much, and
try to get some sleep.
thanks for broadcasting again. It's really a quality. Thank you.
No worries. Feel free to watch it again tomorrow.
I will
There's some good
definitely.
action.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers.
Enjoy your evening. Cheers. So that's it for Mount Panorama Bathurst. 2 hours and lots and lots of action here around around the mountain, and a great result for Damien de Grasse in front of Rob Taplin, in front of Marvin Mackenberg for the podium, and Sven de Wulf says Bubbles and beer are free tonight in the Happy Feet Racing hospitality, so he's also clearly very happy with that race win. Maybe a bit too close for comfort in the end after a small mistake, but no, those things happened. 2 weeks time, as we said, we'll be traveling back to Europe to the Hungaroring for what will probably be a wet race. So if you like this stream, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and you will get notified of our stream in 2 weeks time, which will be held around the same time as this race. So it will be a cracker once again. Let's hope for a full grid once again, over 30 drivers with some good commitment, and a 90-minute race, a bit of a shorter format with I think no mandatory pit stops for that race. So that will be a cracker once again. Many thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions, questions, etc., feel free to get in contact with us, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And that's all from me for today. Have a good evening and see you very soon. Cheers.